ARMY splashy. Jimin and Jungkook release song without HYBE logo. What's up? The world of K-pop music has once again been rocked by the shocking news of two BTS members, Jimin and Jungkook. On July 15, 2025, a new song was suddenly mysteriously released on various global streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, even SoundCloud and YouTube. But the most astonishing thing is the one thing that immediately made the ARMY all over the world excited. There is no HYBE logo, Bigot Music, or any label on the release. As BTS's two main pillars. Song releases from Jimin and Jungkook are usually through the agency's official channels and are full of massive promotions. But this time, the release seemed to come out of nowhere, without a teaser, without a press release, not even an upload on the official Big Hit Music account. The song appears under the title Only Us and lists only Jimin x Jungkook as the artist, with no affiliation with any company. Suddenly, armies around the world flooded social media with various reactions. Many suspect that this project is an independent release, or even the result of a deliberate personal decision by both. What makes everything even more mysterious is the lyrics of the song. In the first verse, Jungkook sings, "Not for the world, not for the stage. It's about two hearts that want to be heard," and was greeted by Jimin's soft voice. "We sing this without borders, without names, because love doesn't need a logo." ARMY, who listened for the first time, immediately concluded that this song was not just an ordinary piece of music. The song feels like a personal statement, an emotional manifesto of both, as if to voice that there are things they want to express without the interference of labels or entertainment industry systems. The speculation intensified when fans began searching through the metadata of music files and realized that the producer and composer of the song were not clearly mentioned. In fact, the YouTube account that uploaded the lyric video is not HYBE's official account, but a mysterious account called Only Us Project was created just one day before the release. One of the viral posts on X, Twitter, from an ARMY mentions, "Is this their way of showing that they still have control over their own voices and stories? Does HYBE even know about this?" It didn't take long for the mainstream media to pick up on this story. Yonhap News, Korea Herald, and Dispatch began publishing articles wondering if this was the beginning of a secret subunit project, or rather an indication of a shift in the relationship between idols and agencies. However, until the evening, HYBE remained silent. There is no clarification, no statement. Jimin and Jungkook upload photos of each other without captions while the public was getting confused. Jimin and Jungkook actually uploaded one black and white photo each on Weverse and their Instagram. In the photo, they can be seen sitting next to each other in a small studio, not HYBE's studio, with a laptop and a simple microphone. No captions, just a calm expression and a deep look at the camera. The post received millions of likes in just a few hours. And comments from fellow K-pop artists are also starting to appear. One of the unnamed idols directly commented, "You showed great courage." Some netizens started speculating that Jimin and Jungkook might be testing the limits of their contracts, or are trying a new approach to delivering their work more personally, more freely, and without industry restrictions. Although there has been no official confirmation from HYBE, some music analysts in South Korea say that this may be part of a guerrilla release art strategy, in which the artist releases a song abruptly and independently to convey a personal or emotional message, usually without traditional promotion. However, looking at the history of the close relationship between BTS and HYBE, many are also confident that this release remains known to management. It's just packaged as a secret project between Jimin and Jungkook. Only Us is not a song. This song is a reminder that behind all the popularity, contracts, promotions, and camera highlights, there are two human children who want to sing their story in their own way. Since the song's release, ARMY has flooded Weverse, X, and TikTok with emotional reactions. Many write open letters, draw fan art, and even make theories about the meaning of the song. Here are some comments that reflect the current mood of the fandom. It feels like they can finally breathe. Jimin and Jungkook, we hear you. We're here. This song is a confession of love, not just between them, but to all of us who have heard and endured. The next day, the news of the release of the song Only Us still shook the media universe, both locally and internationally. Major media such as Billboard, NME, and Rolling Stone Asia gave special attention to this release, calling it a quiet rebellion and a raw, emotional expression beyond the system. The headlines began to spread. Jimin and Jungkook break free from labels. Is this the sound of liberation? When two voices become one without permission. But in the midst of the spotlight, the ARMY realized that there was one detail that really touched their hearts. The song was recorded with just one microphone in a modest rented room in Los Angeles. Some investigative fans found out from scattered pieces of a short video believed to be from behind the scenes of the song's creation that the recording location is not a professional studio, but an ordinary apartment. The background shows stacks of books, half-empty coffee cups, and large windows overlooking the LA skyline. Even the sound of traffic is vaguely heard at the end of the song, as if confirming that this song is not for polishing, but for feeling. It's not just about the quality of the music, it's about intention and courage. They do not wait for permission, do not follow templates, and are not afraid of backlash. Jungkook, in one of the live shows that lasted only 14 minutes and was deleted a few hours later, said softly, "We just want to sing something real. Even if it's just for one night. Even if the world is not ready." And at the end of the live, before the screen went dark, Jimin's voice from a distance said quietly, "Thank you, John Jungkook." The ARMY that watched it that night cried, not because of a broken heart, but because they know there is love behind courage. There's a truth behind the silence. A song born of two wounded but hopeful hearts, of two young people who have grown up under the glare of the world, but are still able to whisper, "Just us." The night was not just about a song, it was about recognition, sacrifice, and the choice to express oneself in the purest way. And although the world is still waiting for an explanation from HYBE, from the manager, from anyone who wants to explain what really happened, ARMY knows the answer is in the last verse of the song. Even if no one knows, even if we disappear, we were here, we loved, we sang. Only us. Because that night, Jimin and Jungkook's voices weren't just heard, they were felt. After the song Only Us was released without the HYBE logo and spread across various non-official platforms, the ARMY began to move. As usual, they were not only listeners, but protectors and amplifiers of the movements made by Jimin and Jungkook. The global fanbase soon united forces to lift the song to the top of the world trending, not just with hashtags like Only Us by Jungkook and Voice Without HYBE, but also by compiling hundreds of long threads containing theory, analysis of lyrics, and confirmation of the location called in the song. Of particular interest is the massive emotional effect. Thousands of fans reported that they cried while listening to the song, especially when the bridge part is sung by Jimin with his voice almost breaking and holding back tears. Then Jungkook's soft vocals enter the next verse. It was like being a buffer when Jimin was no longer strong enough to sing. Some fans who understand the original Korean of the song even translate one part as, "If I'm gone, don't cry for my reflection, because the real thing is when we sing this together." And when the passage is sung in harmony, there follows a clear sound of breathing, as if they did not hide any weakness at all. Listeners really feel that this is not just a song, but rather an open confession. Perhaps the most honest that Jimin and Jungkook have ever given to the public. Not long after, reports surfaced that HYBE took down some of the song's illegal links. This added to speculation that the song was actually released without the label's blessing. Is this the beginning of Jimin and Jungkook's artistic freedom? Are they preparing for a new, more independent step in the world of music? Or is it just a form of emotional outburst that has been pent up? What is clear, July 14th, 2025 will be remembered as the night when two best friends, two colleagues, and two artists, singing not for the stage, not for awards, but rather only for each other and for those who really listen. And the world? The world was silent, listening, and cry along.